For the last 15 years of my life, every time I go into a public toilet, I will get told I'm in the wrong one or have a look of confusion at me when I'm washing my hands or something.
Hello and welcome to our series Pride in Your Work, where we're speaking to different members of the LGBTQ+ community to talk about strides that they've made to actually make a change for their community. And today I am joined by none other than Lovato himself, and I will hand over to him.
Hello, my name is Lovato. I'm a British-Chinese singer, songwriter, actor and performer and model. And I also work with LGBTQ collective Sing the Pink. Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. As you described yourself as a model, singer extraordinaire, do you think the arts needs to be a bit more diverse in terms of how it represents artists and how much they're actually promoted into the spotlight?
Definitely. I think every industry there's a lot of work to be done. I love that you just mentioned extraordinaire. Oh my god, I can't believe, did I say that? I can't remember. But yeah, I think there is lots to be done still within the arts. Even in terms of my position from doing acting and performing, a lot of the casting opportunities that come through are sort of out of my control, and it's a case of me responding to whatever job role there is out there. So I feel like for things to change, actually, it does have to start higher up in sort of the power play. And it's about the people who are writing things, the people who are casting, the people who are commissioning new programs. All those types of opportunities start with those positions of power. And usually they are from a more heterosexual, white position.
Demi Lovato has recently come out as non-binary. Do you think that's going to have an impact on the arts and culture industry in how people are received if they choose to define themselves?
It's great that Demi has come out with their pronouns, and I think it's a case of even myself slipping up and learning and accepting it, but actually reading a load of the comments is quite upsetting, and a lot of the backlash sort of comes from the gay community, and that's sort of frustrating to sort of see that happen within our own community. But hopefully it does bring out a lot more discussion and just bring a bit more visibility to how commonplace it should be, really.
So what would your advice be to somebody who didn't know how to approach the conversation around pronouns?
My advice would be just to ask them, really frankly. I think the times that I have been asked is usually in a conversation where it's just like, hi, how are you? What's your name? What pronouns do you use? And then it's just as simple as that. And if we get it wrong, then you just correct yourself and just carry on. But what I think is a good thing as well in the workplace is to forget the gendered greetings. So things like, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need that. It's really archaic, because you can literally just say, hi everyone. And that sort of does the trick without having to sort of gender people. And things like, can I help you, madam? All that type of stuff. You don't need the madam, just, can I help you? Is more than enough. Save your saliva.
I like that. Save your saliva. So how would you feel if somebody said to you, I'd never have known, when you talked about your sexuality or you talked about anything that was personal to you? How do those words make you feel?
Well, that's funny, because that phrase, I think it'd be the opposite for me. It was like, oh my god, yeah, I totally know. I think just from, the way that I carry myself, I think everyone sort of assumes they know my sexuality already. So, but yeah, there's definitely loads of comments that I think come off that are meant to be from a nice place, but they do come off a bit funny. Even if for example, if I go into a bathroom, is for someone else in there just to not tell me that I'm in the wrong one would be quite a good one. I think I can read door signs quite well, and so if I'm in the men's toilets, it's always quite disconcerting to have a guy come up to me like, miss, you're in the wrong one. And I'm like, no thank you, I can read a door sign. So I'm just like, it's just really unnecessary, and it just happens all the time. For the last 15 years of my life, every time I go into a public toilet, I will get told I'm in the wrong one, or have a look of confusion at me when I'm washing my hands or something. So there's definitely lots that can be improved.
A Stonewall study found that half of Black, Asian and minority ethnic people from the LGBTQ+ community face discrimination within the wider LGBTQ community. Why do you think this is?
I guess from my perspective, I feel like it just might be just a general case of othering. I think like it's all based around stereotypes essentially, and I think that sort of exists on every level, not just within race but within gender as well. So that affects Black, Asian and ethnic minorities a lot more because it's almost like double discrimination. So I think that's why it exists. But yeah, you'll have to ask the people who are doing it.
How will you be celebrating Pride this year?
Whatever the guidelines say we can do is what I'll be doing. Hopefully there will be some sort of a march or something through London, which would be really good. Like, I think after last year was a bit of a hit and miss, so this year would be good to be back out on the streets. The last time that we did something epic was probably 2019, and oh my god, I did a global tour with a Spice Girl Melanie C, and we went across all, like, as many prides as we could get to across the world. So we started off in Brazil and then ended up in Brisbane, like after a year of Pride. It was amazing.
What is your favourite thing about Pride?
My favourite thing about Pride is the fact that everyone comes together and sort of it rejuvenates the movement essentially. I know there's lots of discussion about how companies and everyone gets involved, but I really like the idea of visibility, and I think it's really important across all sectors. So I think having those couple of months in the summer just to really garner everyone's attention together is really important.
Well, Phil, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you for having me, and happy Pride Month and happy Pride every day to everyone.
Happy Pride Month.